Let me rope in Dr. Kohli once again. Dr. Kohli, the water has already been turned off. And then there are more ways that India is working on, like you very rightly said, that will, choke Pakistan. But the fact of the matter is that we're not dealing with a rational, a sane country. Let me give you an example, Dr. Kohli. In fact, the defense minister also went on to say that the reason why they were not able to stop the drones that entered their territory, specifically Lahore, which took out their air defense systems as well, was because they wanted to track the trajectory of that drone and follow it as to where it's going. This is the kind of enemy that we are dealing with. A nincompoop, an idiot, somebody who does not understand the sophistication of diplomacy, somebody who does not understand the benefit of having an economy rather than a terrorist ecosystem for the benefit of its people.
Well, that's because they've never been trained on how to run a country. They have been trained on how to run a terrorist organization. I call Pakistan as a terrorist organization. I don't call it as a country. Because as a country, it's a failed nation. You spoke of waters, Vineet. And waters, we tried to choke Chenab, which was a few days earlier. And then, very smartly, what we did is when we found that there was a lot of rain, we let the water go. So they were basically, there was inundation in a lot of the area. They were flooded. And as far as Indus water is concerned, see, the main river which we need to focus on is Indus, which is the biggest river, and it is feeding most part of the agriculture in Pakistan. But to be able to divert Indus, or to be able to create a reservoir for Indus, we need a dam infrastructure which is under construction. So we cannot stop Indus overnight. Chenab we could, because we could close down the shutters of the dam and we trapped the water, but there was heavy rain in North India, and we let the water, but so both ways, either it dries out or there's a flood, Pakistan gets hurt. So as far as water being used as a weapon, against Pakistan, I think that will entirely, to be able to convert it to a weapon, will take some time. Having said that, it's a bunch of fools there. If their army has to rely on a press conference, makes a press conference, tries to dig out the information from social media, and he says from social media we have learned that this has happened. So this speaks volumes of how they source their information. See, I pity the common man of Pakistan, if you ask me, Vineet. I've heard people in Lahore, Islamabad, Faisalabad, Rawalpindi. The problem of power is so grave that some of the cities get power only 2 hours a day. That is, out of 24 hours, there is only 2 hours of power. Water, 2 to 4 hours a day. That's it. In some cities, 1 hour a day. Basic sanitation is missing. You walk onto the streets of Lahore and Islamabad, you will find that there is filth everywhere. They are dirty. I mean, people are hit by malnutrition. Children don't go to school. Women are covered in the veil anyway. Women are not allowed to come out. You have those Maulanas wearing Pathani suits roaming around all the place. People are just about managing to survive. So, do waqt ki roti, as they say in Pakistan, is not for the people of Pakistan. So I think the Hukumran of Pakistan, the who's who of Pakistan, the people who supposedly run Pakistan, although we don't know who runs Pakistan. The Prime Minister says something else, ISI says something else, Tehreek-e-Taliban says something else, the Supreme Court says something else. So Pakistan is completely disintegrated as far as the power center is concerned. Nobody runs Pakistan, which is why the Awam of Pakistan is in the state which it is right now. So I really pity those people. It's your sheer bad luck, I would say, that you're born in a country which cannot educate you, which cannot feed you, which cannot serve you water, which cannot provide you basic sanitation, which cannot provide you basic education, which cannot show you where your career goes. So it is very easy for these terrorist factories to be able to recruit youth, children. Their children get recruited, they are used as shields, as we just spoke. And the youth get recruited, that die for your country, do jihad. You will meet those other hoods when you go to heaven or wherever you go. This is the kind of mentality at the madrasa. This is what they are taught. And it is very surprising, because in the era of social media, where these children and youth can see what the rest of the world is doing, it's not difficult to find out where the rest of the world has gone, what technology, and they keep talking about India at all times. That look where India has gone. India is growing at 6.5%. India has gone global. Indian startups are doing this. We keep hearing. In fact, I found I found somebody in Pakistan speaking about showing on the video the golf course road in Gurgaon. That look, this is the kind of road you have in India. We must go and see that road. This road, we don't have this kind of road anywhere in Pakistan. You know, India can afford to make this kind. So it is not that they are totally cut off from rest of the world. That's why it surprises me that when somebody is being counseled on jihad, is being counseled in the madrasa to become a jihadi. On the other side, he's got a smartphone, and at some point he must be accessing a smartphone, and he knows where the rest of the world is gone. So they are not able to relate to that, but somehow they are in a trap. They cannot come out of that because there is no education facility available. Only a handful of people in Pakistan have access to education, and they send their children abroad. Rampant corruption is there. This is one point I would like to make, Vineet, that in IMF meet today, lot of IMF money has gone into corruption. I think that is a point which I'm sure India is going to raise. Whatever it gets, it either used for training the terrorists, rest of it goes for corruption. And in London and New York, these hukumrans of Pakistan have got fancy houses. They live a very, very high profile life, and they live a luxurious life, while the rest of the Awam of Pakistan is in a very sad state back home. Vineet.
You're absolutely right, sir. Pakistan is not only living in denial, it's living in a cocoon, like they say in Hindi. Kuए ka mandak is what Pakistan can be described as. All right, some breaking news coming in. Fresh video shows the takedown of a Pakistani drone last night. The visuals are deferred, and ANI sources are telling us around 500 drones were launched towards Indian positions by the Pakistani army last night, which were sighted at 24 locations from the Siachen base camp in Ladakh to Kutch area in Gujarat. Around 50 of these drones were destroyed by air defense guns, while around 20 were brought down through soft kills. Most of the drones were unarmed. The drones were fitted with cameras and possibly relaying footage of their ground stations. The Indian air defense systems took out almost all the drones which could have caused damage to any kind of an infrastructure. Okay, Shruti Dasgupta, geopolitical analyst, also with us on the program. Shruti, appreciate you being here. Well, the MEA briefing is going to start any minute, but from what we have heard from our other panelists, Professor Nalapat also joins us on the show. But Shruti, coming to you first, from what we have heard from our other panelists, it seems that Pakistan is running post to pillar, trying to figure out which attack of India to deal with first. The economic impact of what's about to come in Pakistan is obviously something that we can all guess. They won't have any water, they won't have any equipment, and they're relying on China, a country that does not really want to have two fronts at this point in time. They're already reeling under a lot of pressure when it comes to Taiwan, from the ASEAN countries, from the Americans. They definitely are not going to come to Pakistan's help.
You're absolutely right.
Shruti, go on. Professor Nalapat, I'll come to you momentarily, sir.
You're absolutely right. Pakistan is reeling under its own, it's actually kind of dug a hole for itself by doing all of that it did in Pahalgam, encouraging this kind of terrorism, and I thought it could get away with it. They're in really dire strait economically. They had a review of a loan from the IMF that was supposed to happen today, I believe. I'm not aware of its current status, but under the current circumstances, nobody would be giving it any money. But you have to know that they've had money coming in, if I'm correct, the F-16 sustenance loan from the US that comes in from there. It came in the month of Feb or March, and lo and behold, we have Pahalgam happening. So money in any form coming to Pakistan directly funnels into its terror hubs, and through that into activities that we are seeing today. So it is in dire states. Its kharif crop, as I'm sure your panelists have discussed before, are in ruins already. The 21% decline in the water that was supposed to be there is already there, and this is before India kind of did what it does with its flushing of the silt that is deposited in its dams, the mud that has come and deposited in its dams. So we open the gates and we close them, and we open and we close. So we are turning them into a very marshy thing, and the lack of water data that we are not sharing with them anymore, that is going to impact their kharif crops even more. So they were already begging, they will beg more, and I don't know, they claim that it was hacked, and but there was a statement put out that they need more money to kind of balance out their economy
Well,
today.
both the situations
So
are embarrassing, aren't they? If they were hacked, it's more embarrassing.
they always claim to be hacked. They keep coming back. They keep saying things and they keep retracting them. They say we had POW and then we didn't have POW. We shot down Rafales, but you'll have to look for social media for proof. So they keep backtracking on whatever they have to say. So the first statement is to sensationalize it and showcase themselves as these giants that nobody can take down, or giant victims. Either, whichever is suiting their narrative at that point of view, and then they backtrack and they go and follow the exact truth. So when they get hacked, they claim they are not hacked, and when they are not hacked and they are found to be lacking, then they claim that no, this was not us. So they do need money, and we are hoping that India has kind of spread a beautiful diplomatic net to ensure and showcase
You're
to the
absolutely
world.
right. Well, let me rope in Professor